Okay, taking a look at the closed headlock this time. So instead of trying to hit, the opponent has both hands connected. We don't have to worry about that punch at this point, although if they ever did let go, we would do the same thing we looked at in the first video. So from here, we're going to grab their hip bone, sit down, transferring our weight to them through the hand on the hip and the headlock if they continue to hold it, and twist, pulling their hip all the way down to the ground right here. Now, it's imperative that the first thing we do is put our hands out for balance, because given that they have a headlock, they could try to roll us over. We step our right knee towards our left, so our left can easily step over their hip, pulling our heel into their hip. We then slide this knee up to the back of their neck to adjust. Now, we're still caught in a headlock, so we need to free our head without straining ourselves. Bring our right forearm across their throat, grab our own wrist, and now when you're in this position, forward is going to feel like this direction, and that is forward for you. What we need to do is lean our weight towards the opponent's head, so in this direction, so that when we transfer the weight, all of our weight goes into their neck through this forearm. So in that direction. Notice as well, I'm not lifting my head. Common thing for folks to do is try to free their head by lifting up. You're not going to break their grip, even a weaker person's grip, with extending your head up. All you're going to do is strain yourself. But by transferring the weight into their neck, here getting very heavy, we cause a significant amount of discomfort that forces them to let go, allowing us to then slide up. Notice, with their arm somewhat extended, we slide high and trap it to our chest by grabbing the back of our shoulder with our, in this case, left hand. Leaning our head over their hips, we make this right leg light so we can step it over the head. Most common mistake with the arm bars to fall back without the leg already being over the head, providing escape opportunities. Here, we finish face down, no different than face forward. We start going to their back, they get a headlock. Again, we should have prevented it. We reaching for their hip bone, cupping it tight. We block their far leg, but we sit. Notice I didn't sit away or try to throw him. I'm simply sitting, transferring my weight to him. And in this moment, all the weight's being transferred to his hip through this hand. We then pull this elbow back in a circle. Boom, and he comes down. Now we get hands for balance. Number one, don't get rolled over. Heel, as we step over, we don't want him to slide his leg underneath, so we bring that heel to the hip, and then for balance, slide our right knee, hard to see here, but behind his neck. Now we bring the blade into his throat, or the side of the neck rather. We grab the wrist, and we start driving forward towards his head, not ours, transferring that weight here, causing him to, it's quite unpleasant. It's just very difficult to hold on. It's not a pain resistance issue. It just makes it very difficult for anyone to keep that position. Now from here, the weight is on both legs, but still this right leg a little. So we're going to lean our head this way, which, truth be told, is made much easier if we don't have to stay on the sole of our foot. If we can turn and get on the side of our foot, it's a lot easier. But because this is such a basic technique, we're not adding in that extra detail. And typically we would fall back here, but in this case, we finish from the top. So one more time. Core strategy, close the gap, try to go behind. Didn't work, no problem. Sumo step, hands for balance, step over, correct the knee, blade, press the weight, boom, sit up tall, and again, don't ever strain your neck. So you'll notice here, I could have tried to sneak my head out, but because it's not quite loose enough, that would end up just straining the neck. So instead I insist on adding the weight to force him to want to let go, and then I sit up tall, grab the back of my shoulder to trap his arm to my chest, and leg over, we finish.